Greetings, curious humans. My name is Sasha Zelig, and I am the creatrix of the Self-Discovery Dive method. The method combines parts work and internal family systems, which are newer psychological tools to first divide ourselves and then talk with ourselves and then heal ourselves back together. That's the parts. We all have different parts in ourselves, and usually those parts are created through trauma when a part of us splits off or disassociates to keep us safe from a terrible situation. Sometimes not even so terrible if you're in the world of comparing trauma, which I don't recommend. We also combine Reiki and energy healing as well as some physical touch to help move anything that gets stuck in the body because, as you know, the body keeps the score. So I'm inviting you to join me for a day-long play shop on the method and on talking to yourselves. So when I first started doing this work, one of the pieces that I found that had been dissociated, lost, and hidden in myself was my inner child, of course. And bringing her back to light, I asked her, what do you want to do? Like, what do you want? If that trauma when I was 12 years old had never happened, what would you like to do instead? She said, I want to go swimming at the beach. So for 6 months, every day, I stopped my work at noon and I took a lunch break and I let her run to the beach. I was living in California at the time, about a block away from the beach. And she, in my body, would just take my body running down the hill. And what I realized was that, whoa, little children cannot be trusted alone in the ocean. We need a guardian. So I developed an inner zaddy. I certainly have some daddy issues and some daddy wounds. And so I created my own best father figure. I call him Zaddy. So Zaddy would be following along as this inner child, be running down the hill. And when Sasha gets in the ocean, I'm like, oh, Burr, oh my goodness, no way, it's freezing. When Sashi Corn, baby Sasha, gets in the ocean, she's like, I don't care how cold it is, let's go. And I would place my towel before I got in on the ground, and I would imagine Zaddy sitting there. And then I would let myself run and frolic and play in the ocean, looking back all the time just to check that Daddy was checking on me. And he was. And we developed this partnership within ourselves. So, for example, I hated getting water. In California, you often go get fancy water and refill your jug. And I hated doing it. And I didn't like to go when it was busy. So I'd go late night, but then I'd be tired. So Zaddy would say to me, come on, baby girl, get in the car, we'll go for a ride, and I'll drive, and I'll do the water, and then we'll come home and go to bed. And we would do that ritual together. Me, Sasha driving the car, but in the mindset of Zaddy. Now, of course, we don't let Sashi Corn drive. Not safe. Some other parts that I developed, I was a theater major, if you didn't know, and I've tried my entire life to do a Scottish accent. Like throughout college, I was a voice and speech emphasis major. I should have been able to do it, but I couldn't. I was with a Scotsman for a long time. I've lived in Scotland, and even after all that time, I couldn't do the accent until I found these two parts. They used to just tell me, no, 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 Sasha, no. And then I started to hear that Scottish accent in my head, and hearing it in my head allowed me to speak it much more fluently, much more openly, much more easily. And it's not that the Scottish accent is the goal, it's actually speaking to my parts. So these parts yell at me. They yelled at me about men for a long time, like, you're making terrible choices, just stop that, he's neither one, quit. And then after that, when I started listening to them and making better choices, then they started speaking to me about gardening, about plants, about herbs, and they love that piece. So as our parts become more healed, or we become more healed, they needn't do these rigorous jobs. They can actually enjoy life alongside us and add to our knowledge and our wisdom. So again, Sasha's back, and dividing our parts to bring them together creates a wholeness. Even though there's a division at first, it really truly creates a wholeness in the end of the practice. So if you'd like to learn more, I highly recommend this day-long play shop in the San Diego area in California, coming up June 7th, 2025. I'll be doing these more. I'll be doing one in Colorado in this year in the fall. But keep attuned, keep apprised, and let me know if you have any questions. Currently, I have trained 3 facilitators. So if you want hands-on work in your home, you might have a facilitator in your area. If you want to work directly with me, I also work remotely and can do this work remotely with you. So it's a very easy, gentle, playful, fun practice because doing the work doesn't have to be hard. It can be fun.